We're about to go live. So we are live. Wow. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Network today. I really just pray that we're going to be having good network today. I'm excited that this is yet another Friday. This is our weekly live broadcast, and we get to do this every Friday. We discuss everything parenting for now because this is a parenting community, and we hope to also, expand our horizon so that we can also meet other aspects of our parenting needs. And we have an amazing personality in the show with us today. And for those who are just joining into this program, this is the Empowered Parent International bringing you meet and greet session with Uchechi. I am the co-founder of Splendid Early School and also the founder of this community, the Empowered Parents International. So if you're joining us, let us know where you're watching us from. Let us know how your day was. Mommy Nina, how was your day today? Was it
My was
stressful?
excellent. Oh, actually, it's very stressful, very, but
Preparing for
I'm
Monday.
happy
Kids
doing
are
what
going
I'm
back
doing.
to school on Monday.
Anyway,
I said the kids are going to school on
they've
Monday. So you're,
actually resumed down here. They've been going to school since Monday in Anambra.
oh,
So
really? Oh, okay. Oh, really? All right. For Lagos, we are actually officially resuming on
I mean,
Monday,
down
though.
here they've started already.
Okay, okay. Wow, I see. I see. So,
Mm-hmm. They're starting on
I'm going
Monday.
to,
So it's been,
I didn't get that.
that's cool. Glad to be. Okay, I said I'm glad to be here.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. So, for those who are joining us live, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to let us know where you're watching from and just put something in the comment section. So, with me tonight is popularly known as, sorry for that, popularly known as Mommy Nina. She is Mrs. Amarachi Nina Uma, and she is a public speaker. She's an on-air personality. She's a career coach. She is a relationship coach. She is a parenting coach. She's also an event anchor. So if you have an event and you want an anchor, Mommy Nina, I highly recommend her. Yes, so she is also a mom of three amazing children. She's the author of the book on Max, okay, on self-discovery and purpose. Wow, I think she's having a little network challenge. So this is Mrs. Amarachi Nina joining us live tonight on our meet and greet session. And today we are going to be having our conversations all around our children. And our topic is teaching your children values. To raise exceptional children, you need to teach them values. You need to teach them values. And I strongly believe that Mommy Nina is going to be joining us any moment from now. Probably she's having some challenges with her network. All right. So thank you so much. I see two people have joined us already. Just tell me where you're watching from. How was your day? Hope it was not stressful. Lagos is fine and the weather is relatively calm, no much rain today, and it's beautiful. So we'll just hold on a little bit for Mommy Nina to join us so that we can continue this conversation immediately. Yeah, so she's in the studio now. Wow. Welcome back.
Ah,
Sorry.
thank you.
Yeah,
So
I
sorry
guess it was
about
the
that.
next.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, so I was just
Okay.
introducing you.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you, everyone
Yeah.
watching.
All right.
So,
Yeah. So we are going straight into the conversation for tonight. And that is to raise exceptional children, we need to teach them values. So we want to unmax or demystify the word value. So, Mommy,
value.
yes, that's your book on Marx. So I'm going to be
Yeah.
using a lot of that. So we want to
Mhm.
demystify that word, values. When you say values and then you bring it into raising your children, how does it work? What exactly does it mean?
Okay. Values, particularly, I will explain generally what values is and then what family value is. Value
Okay.
are things, morals you hold tightly onto, things you believe in, things you can't trade for anything, things you believe this is the right way or the best way it should work. Now, family values, these are morals you want to instill in children. Like, I don't know how to explain. When I talk about family values, you're talking about things they are peculiar to each family, things we hold
Okay.
tightly as a value in my family might be different from your own. For example,
Exactly.
in my family, if you wake up and you see your elder, even if anybody you see, the first person, whether you're junior or your elder, you just have to greet. But some
Okay.
families, greeting is not a value. So whether you greet or
Okay.
not is not an offense. If they don't find it as you've done something wrong. But actually, family values are the things, in fact, the first step of giving a child a sense of right and wrong.
Wrong.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, the sense of right or wrong. So anytime we talk about family values, they are morals. Particularly, I love to add the word that is peculiar. Peculiar to family. To family. It's just different. It's different from family to family. I'll give you another example.
Okay.
There are families, when you serve them food, you just have to finish eating the food before you eat the meat. There are families, it doesn't mean anything. It's not a value. If you bring food and I choose to start eating from my meat, I didn't do anything wrong. And now, someone that came from a family that holds the value of eat your food before you eat your meat will not be looking at that child as in the other kid as untrained. How can you be doing this? It's not supposed to be like that. So it's peculiar to families. But tonight, our major key is how to teach your children your own family value, because I found that a lot of parents, most times, even me, sometimes I fall victim. You keep shouting because expectation is too high. You should know this. But when you look back, you find out that you've not actually told that child this is why this should happen. So the key thing in teaching family value, especially to children, is making them understand the why should you do this, why should, because it is the why that will differentiate it from the other family. Like the food thing I gave example, it is the why. When you explain you have to finish eating your food before the meat, you have to explain to that child why.
Why?
Yes, explaining and making them understand the why is the easiest way to let them know those values. So,
Wow, interesting, very much interesting. So, for the sake of this conversation, we are going to be narrowing it down how we can choose or how we can teach our kids our own family values. But I also believe that we can also extend global values to them so that
that's
they
why
will be able to
that's
fit outside your home. They will be able to be relevant globally. So it's also good that they know family values and also understand global values, because the truth about it is that we are raising our kids to be globally relevant. We're also, putting in their minds that they are global citizens. And you really made an interesting, notion when you said a particular family's value is different from another person's value. And really, these things are very little, but they really make a lot of difference. And it also affects these children's relationship. All right, it also affects their
that's true.
relationship, because if they go to a place and they see people not doing things the way they do it in their house. They might begin to see that that other person is untrained. So it's very good that we tell them this is our family values, but others out there can be different from you, and you still have to, work in harmony with them. I think this is usually an issue in marriage. They come in, a husband comes in with his own philosophy, the wife comes in with their own philosophy, and they are trying to understand themselves. And like, in my house, my father doesn't do it this way. We don't do it that way. So, but when we understand that people, come with different values, wow.
Yes, that's right. What I wanted to add there, the point you made is a key problem in marriage, especially in early marriage, because let me use my family, because most times I like to tell people what is relatable. In my own house, my father is the type that we all sleep. He goes round to check if the gate is closed, if everywhere is okay. He does
Same
that.
here.
So I
Hello, Mommy Nina, can you hear me? Yeah, so I think Mommy Nina's internet is having some challenges. Whew. Yeah, so we're trying to say that different families have different values. And it's good that as parents that we teach our children the values that are peculiar to us, so that we can be on the same page. We can, allow our children understand what we expect them to do at every point in time. Many times parents are usually, they have high expectations, and they have not taught any single values to their children, and they are really expecting that those children should know what to do. Children don't come, to us preloaded with information. Our children don't come to us, with an understanding of how things happens or how things work, but they come to us with an empty heart, willing to learn. So whatever is in the environment, our children are picking on those things. So it is of utmost importance that we teach our children the values, and these values has to represent what we hold dear, whatever it is that we hold there, and whatever it is that makes meaning to our family. These are the values that we must always inculcate in our children. So I want to mention some values, and I'm sure that Mommy Nina is going to join us on some values that we can teach our children, and that is time management. Time management is key. You must teach your children time management. And sometime, I think 2 weeks ago, I had a conversation with a guest, and she was, we were having a conversation on modeling, a tool for parenting. Yeah, so Mommy Nina is here. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Wow. Yeah, so we were having that conversation
don't know what
on.
network he's doing. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. All right. So I was just saying something about modeling, a tool for parenting. So many of the virtues that we must teach our children, many of the values that we must teach our children must be what they see us do. Many a times children will do more of what they see than what we ask them to do. So children are more of, see and do. So I was just listing out some values that children can be taught early enough. And I mentioned time management. In my home, time management is a key value, and I would love my children as early as possible to always be disciplined when it comes to time. And I've realized that the best way to teach values is to model it. The best way to teach values is to model it. Your children have to see you doing it, and it will be easier for them to copy what they have seen. Mommy Nina, you want to put some more, you want to throw more light on this?
Well, actually, at least I came in when you were talking about action. One of the ways of teaching children family values is by doing it. That's the easiest way, because they're
Modeling,
like you
yeah.
rightly said, they are see and do. So most times you find out that most parents are caught in the web of shouting, 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 and they are just would like say, I know the value, I know this is good, I want my child to do it, even though I don't do it. So you find out there's a conflict, and they find it very difficult getting the child to do it. So most times you find out children do things easily, they see you do. Like if you're passing and okay, let me know explain this one. I've had my second son once said, I want to do this thing the way mommy used to do it. That's because he has seen me do that. Or I'll put something, they'll put it back. Ah, why did you remove it? Is that's where mommy used to keep it, or that's where daddy used to keep it. Because they know this is not where it's supposed to be. They have seen me keep it at a particular point. But if I
Yeah.
keep shouting, put this thing here, next time I'll come back, put this thing here, one day I'll get tired and I may not be able to get them to do those things. So, like you rightly said, action is one of the, in fact, it is the major thing in teaching them these values. And on time management, you've just hinted a lot of that, things you can teach them early. That's very good. Well, another family value that is important, which will help them both globally and the communities, teaching them empathy.
Empathy, very important.
Between sympathy and empathy. Are you there?
Yeah, I heard you. Empathy is another value that we must teach our children. Yes. And
Okay,
there's a
yes.
difference between empathy and sympathy.
Okay, I was saying that sympathy is, I will just explain it in a layman's language. Sympathy is, hey, yeah, oh, this thing happened to you. Sorry, oh, you just feel for the person. Empathy makes you go extra mile. Empathy makes you step into the person's shoe. How? If I'm in this shoe, what will I do? Empathy makes you take action. So it's good to teach your children family values, empathy, and kindness. It's not just about saying, maybe your classmate, Junior, you don't have pencil. Sorry about that. You teach them, if they have extra pencil, Junior, when I finish, I'll give you my own to write. Or hold on, Junior, I have a spare pencil. So you teach them empathy. It's not just being sympathetic. So this one is far from, it's not just a family value. It's like you stated, global thing. Is something that
It's a life
will help them
skill.
in the community. So it's very important. It's one of the major things we need to teach our children, to be empathic. And because if I used to tell people it's not enough to just say sorry and you're gone. And when you take action that helps to alleviate that particular issue, then you're solving a problem. And I think and that makes the world strong.
Yes, I really agree to that. And just to also add to that, empathy also can be taught to our children by being very, very
That the bond
practical.
better.
Now, yeah, I said I just wanted to add to what you had said on empathy. I said we need to be very practical in teaching empathy. Just like you said, empathy goes beyond words. its action, it's being involved in whatever it is to help the other person's life become better. Something as little as taking your children to an orphanage home, you know, it's very practical. They should go there, literally talk to them, not just go there as an excursion and then you just look at them and you just talk as if they are wild animals or zoo animals that you want to go and see. Let your children even spend time with them, relate with them, ask them questions. How has your experience been here? Have you eaten? What are your needs? If your children can have these practical conversations with the less privileged, there is no other, you know, picture, or there's no other way that it will stick faster than this. It is very, very key. And you know, when we hear the word exceptional, 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 a lot of parents just think, oh, is a bookworm, you know, has A's, you know, is confident on the pulpit, you know, is that, but teaching, raising exceptional children are children with virtue, children with character, children with good social skills, and that is why values is what it is. And you know, we were saying something behind before we came here, and we said it's not enough to give your children rules, say don't do this, do that. You can't raise children with rules. They have mind, they want to think, they want to reason. But then when you teach them values, they can now be creative on those values, and I'm going, okay, I have to be empathetic. I need to feel how other people feel. So
they
how
want
do
to
they
even
now
live, they want to
life?
act themselves. They want to act themselves.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, continue. I'm listening.
Okay, so I was saying they want to be themselves, and
Yeah.
majorly because they have a mind of their own, parents have a problem of expecting too much. You're looking at a 2-year-old child, you're expecting that child to behave like a 5-year-old. You're looking at a 5-year-old child, you're expecting that child to behave like an 11-year-old or like a teenager. So you find yourself struggling with values. Is it not your mate that has a different developmental stage? So when you understand that they have a mind of their own, I'm just supporting what you said, that they don't need rules to grow up. It's not that they don't need rules. They need the rules, but I'm going back to the first thing I said. You need to tell them why. You don't sit like this on the couch. Why? You know, at a point, if you don't even explain the why, they will start asking you. Don't keep that cup there. He said, but mommy, why? What happened? If I keep it there, what will happen? And children
They are
are very
inquisitive.
they are very adventurous. So apart from being inquisitive, they would like to try out. Let me go and keep this cup and know what will happen and see what will, you know, stuff like that. But when you give a rule, if you keep this cup here, it's going to fall, the cup will break, you will spill water here, the water could push you down and you will break your leg, it will take you to hospital. At the end of the day, they will even near that table.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Honestly.
The why. So you've explained the why, and even if they try to go to that table, if they remember the water
Wow.
will spill and they will wound the lining. Okay, can you hear
Yes.
me now?
Yes,
You know
yes, I
this
can
network.
hear you.
I don't
I
understand this
can hear
network.
you.
Okay, all right. Another thing,
Yeah, I can hear
another
you.
yes, another value that is important for parents to teach children is the art of taking responsibilities.
Wow, this has been so amazing. So I see people, you know, commenting. They say, "Good evening, Mark. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us." And someone says, "Wow, please let us know exactly what stands out for you in this conversation. Let us know exactly what stands out for you.
Okay,
Yes, welcome back.
thank
Yeah, so
you.
someone said giving rules with detailed explanation. And you know, that is really what a lot of parents don't have the patience for. They don't want to go to the extra mile to say, don't keep this cup on the table. If you do, it's going to fall down and break. And then water is going to spill all over the place and you will get injured. I will take you to the hospital. That is elaborate, and that is how children want to be related with. They want you to simplify issues, simplify instructions, simplify everything. And then, but a typical African parent will just want to have a quick fix and say, don't touch that cup. If you touch that cup, I will beat you. That is all. And we're not allowing the child, understand why I shouldn't touch this cup that I love so much. So children, they have a mind of their own. If they were not meant to think, God wouldn't have put a mind in there for them. So we as parents, we are caretakers. We are supposed to serve as a guide, as a mentor, as influencers in their life. So what you just said is going to influence that child to now take responsibility and take that decision. Okay, mommy says if I touch this cup, it's going to fall down and break. Now the child is reasoning in his or her own mind. Do I really want this cup to fall down and break? Do I want to go to the hospital? So the child is also engaging his mind. And then he now takes the decision, no, I don't want to go to the hospital, so I don't touch the cup. And that is enough why. Thank you so much. That really makes a lot of sense.
Thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much. So the next point I wanted to talk about before the network cut me off was taking responsibility. You find that something as simple as, mommy, please get me a pencil, and you were unable to get it. For 1 week, you keep giving excuses. I forgot it. I did this thing. You keep saying that you are actually passing an excuse value life to the kids. That's actually what you're doing, because you need to teach them to take responsibility. If they do something, they accept I did it without fear. And the importance of owning up and being truthful. Just, I don't know how to explain, but like when you make a mistake, you apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know it was like this. You are teaching them to take responsibility for their actions and not to push blame or say, hey, it's because sometimes my kids does that. Who pushed this thing down? He says, it's because and this person pushed me and it fell down. But when you teach them to take responsibility, you teach them to to get used to as in take responsibility for their own action. You find out that anytime they do something, they'll say, yes, I pushed it down, I didn't know it was there, or it was a mistake. So it is one important value we should teach them how to take responsibility, teach them how to take responsibility, the importance of owning up. Remember I said you need to explain the why. That is the key. The two major things while training your children on values is explaining the why and making them and taking action. Yes, they see you do what you're telling them. So in explaining to them, you need to explain to them the importance of being truthful. If you said the truth, this is what it does to you. If you said the truth, this is what it makes in your relationship between you and others. So we need to get this particular one straight, so that we don't end up raising kids and raising children who shy away, maybe out of fear or anything. They keep lying and they don't want to take responsibility for their actions. So this is the major thing on this particular one. We need to understand this. Then another thing that you can talk about while instilling, or how you can instill, or the particular value, yes, because right now we're explaining the values you should teach your children. Yes, we are explaining the values you should teach your children. Then the next thing we'll be talking about tonight is teach them to believe in possibility. It's a value. There are families. Okay, welcome back. All right, welcome. You can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I was talking about another value we should pass to our children. I talked about teaching them to believe in possibilities. There are families you walk into, you find that it's all filled up with negativity. Mommy, give me this. I don't have money now. As in, you keep saying negative things that they get used to negative words and they believe that's how life should be. It is wrong. It's wrong. And because they easily replicate whatever we do, you find out that such children, even when you tell them do this thing, do okay, wow, not come, jump, I'll catch you, be like, I'm afraid I'll fall, I'll break my legs. But if you teach them possibility, make them to believe in possibility. Remember, the two major things in instilling value is action and explaining the why. You tell them the importance, why they have to be positive, and the rest of them, what positivity does to them, what it does to their confidence, what it does to their entire life. As in, you explain the why to them, you find out to be negative in his. So that's another important thing, teaching them to believe in positivity and possibility.
Wow, wow, that's very, 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 very important, especially now that there's a whole lot of, issues around us in our society that will want to make we in the third world feel like we cannot break through in life. We need to teach our children that they can do it even when they have failed. We need to cheer them up. Another way we can also instill possibilities in our children is, use their mistakes as a learning opportunity. Don't use it as a shaming opportunity. Don't use it as an opportunity to, condemn them, compare them, or any of that. Every time your child fails, grab that opportunity and teach your child that your child can still be the best. And apart from doing that, you can really, engage them in movies. Let them watch movies of how people failed and how people were able to rise after failing. We understand that children are copycats and they are visual learners. So they are not just, auditory learners. They also want to see. So as critical as showing them a movie or a storybook that they can see the progression of things. Oh, this child failed once, he tried again and it failed, he tried again and it failed. And when they see it visually that it is possible, these children, that picture sticks in their mind till adulthood, and they will keep, breaking boundaries, pushing against all odds. So really, values is key in raising exceptional children. All right, ma'am.
Okay, I want to add something. Anytime we talk, I try to bring it down to what we can relate with.
Yeah.
There are families you step into, you find out that the kids believe so much in possibility. They believe anything can be done. Naturally, that is how children behave. If you tell them this,
Okay. Thank you. Someone said great program. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
is not possible to do. But when so I was saying, you find out that these children are always negative because
Yes.
they are in an environment. I don't know how to explain, but there are families you just step into. The children just believe they can't do anything. Do this, I can't. Write it like this, I can't. Do
I
as
can.
in their mind is not done. So it is an unconscious. For me, I believe it because it's not conscious. Because if the parents are actually aware, they won't be doing what they did. So we need to be very careful. We need to be very careful in that particular aspect. Then another thing I like and I value it so much is teaching our children integrity. I
Integrity.
once talked about, yes, I once talked about this one, and I got questioned like, "Ah, mommy, Nina, what are you saying? Oh, you mean a 2-year-old child? I should teach them integrity and stuff like that?" I said, yes. Teach them. Integrity is not for adult. And how do you do it? You need to act it too. Make them understand the importance of keeping their word. Mommy, and when are you going to do this thing? I'm going to do it before evening. If they don't do it, teach them why it is important to keep their word. That's integrity. So that I used to tell my son, there are things he will do, I'll just get angry and feel like, what's wrong with you? You don't know you're supposed to be doing this thing like this. So that if I go outside and someone says your son did this thing, because I've known your pattern and you keep your word, that is integrity. I can say my son did not do this. But when today you do like this, tomorrow you switch the other way, and you keep pushing excuse. It's better. That's the younger one that said I should do it. I said, okay, elder one, you're allowing your younger one tell you what to do. But what was my goal? Teaching him integrity. Keep your word. If you say you're going to bed, go to bed. If you say you're turning off the television to sleep, turn off the television and sleep. So you need to teach them the importance of keeping their word, integrity, so that in their class, that's honesty too. In their
You
class,
know,
if anything happens, someone can look back and say, come, I know you will say the truth. There's something that happened to me during my pro. I had this school with money. Me, they don't give me money. You go with your lunch pack and everything. So she comes to school with money in her primary school. She buys things. Sometimes she will give me money to keep for her. I will keep innocently. I will carry that money and go and show my dad and say, my classmate said I should keep for him. One day he got suspicious. Say, I primary school girl, where do you get money from to keep giving you? Until I was in school one day, the mother came, the girl, he has beaten her up, and she has been stealing money from her chemist shop and stuff like that. Guess what? This girl said I was the one that sent her. So when they called me out, I said, no, she has been giving me money to keep. And they called my dad to come to the school. When he got there, the first thing he said, my daughter cannot. Try turning into argument. He brought out all the money. He said she has been giving me this money. And while sweeping the house, I've tested her in so many ways. I could just drop money under the couch. Then she will sweep it out and return it. Or she will sweep it out and keep. So she hasn't stolen money in my house, and so she will not do it in somebody's house. That's integrity. You have a pattern. And so you won't know that pattern except your parents teach you. You're told not to, don't take anything that doesn't belong to you. Don't take anything that is not given to you. If you pick something, return it. If you pick some, that's integrity. So they can be able to defend you and also build trust between you and your child. So that's what I want to say on that aspect.
yes, and just to add to what you said on integrity, because I want it to also be as practical as possible in a way that people can immediately begin to put into action all that we are discussing here tonight. Our children are children. You know what I mean by when children are children? They might forget, or they might just want to act naughty, and then they don't keep to their words, or they don't follow the values in the home. How can we reinforce it? Because it's one thing to teach these values, is yet another thing to reinforce these values and make sure that your children are not just doing it when they feel like, but they are now doing it like a habit, and like, a sacrifice in the home, or something that is not a part of them. How do we reinforce it? Because the truth is that these children will fail at times. They will, disobey instructions, like what you were saying now. when you pick up something and it's not yours, return it. What Yeah, did you get my question?
Yes, I got the last thing I heard. You were saying, how do we reinforce this value so that the children don't forget and they keep doing it as if it's normal?
Yes.
All right.
Or even at times when they misbehave, probably they take what does not belong to them and they were deliberate about it. So, what is the best strategy to make sure that we correct that misbehaviors? Because values is a must. So, how do we go about it?
Actually, there's something about instilling value. It needs patience and repetition. There's this thing in one of my in our communication world, a particular philosopher, Stuart Hall. There's something he mentioned about reputation, and that is used in adverts. The more you are exposed to, okay, let me leave advert is far. Let me say you're a church person. You're a church person. All you like is gospel songs. You sing them, you infuse it in you. Probably there's a bar close to your home that plays, let's say, Kiss Daniel or Davido. It's not your kind of song. You don't play it in your house, but they keep playing that song. Over time, in your subconscious mind, you can even catch yourself saying the lyrics of that song. That's the effect
True.
of repetition. So the same thing is applicable in the home. So for you to reinforce, you have to repeat. That is one. And you need patience because these children, they're not going to, we have special kids. I won't call them stubborn. They are special kids that keep want to have their way. They want to have their way until you're able to convince them why it should. They need conviction. You're telling them this, they want to practice their own. As early as 3 years old and above, they want to have their own way. So those kind of children, you need patience and repetition. Don't do this. If they bring back something, send it back. I've been here one time, my kid came back with an eraser cleaner that is not his own. I said, return it. If you don't return it and I come to your school, I will tell your headmistress you took somebody's eraser. He said, but I did not take it. The boy gave me. I said, take it back. Tell him your mom said you should not collect anything from anyone. Anything I did not buy or daddy did not buy, don't bring it to the house. Over time, those times it looked very stressful, sincerely, doing that. Now he's the one telling the younger ones, don't collect this thing. You came from school. If I'm at the car park waiting for them to pick them back home, and somehow he notices the sister is holding, right there, he goes back to what am I saying? He goes back to the classroom to return it. If he doesn't see anybody, I mean, not his bag or the siblings' own, he keeps it on the table. He will say, mommy will shout, oh, mommy said you shouldn't come back with this. How did I achieve that? Patience and repetition. Sincerely, it wasn't easy. At a point, I was like, are my own kids different or what? But I understood there are stages. And when they get to that stage, because you've been talking about it over time, repeating it over time, at that stage, you don't do more work. They get it. But if you were not talking and at the stage where they are supposed to pick it, that is when you are starting the training, you will have issues. So that point is just reinforcement. You've said it before. Okay, don't do this. Please take it back. It is not, that's why it's called family value. It is not allowed in this house. There's a possibility it's allowed in somebody's house. But in this house, it is not allowed. It is family value. So that's why the two major things you need is patience and repetition. That's just what solves it. You're not going to kill them now, you won't beat them up.
True,
So
very, very true. It's very important
that's
that
the
parents need to understand that it takes patience to do anything in life. and it's not going to be any different when it comes to parenting. We need to work on our emotions as parents. I've done a talk on that. A lot of parents have short temper, they are temperamental, and when they say something once or twice, they feel that their children should have picked it. And if their children have not picked it, they resort to other forms of negative discipline. And we need to understand that our children's mind, children are more emotional at their early years than logical. So they respond to things based on their feelings. They respond to things based on how they feel, not based on what they should do per time. So if you have this understanding about children, that at that point in time that your child is misbehaving, it's not because your child wants to be naughty. Maybe that's how the emotion just came. And the child does not have that, experienced intelligence to caution himself. He just expresses it. Just like what you said, now a child might just feel in his mind, pour this water on the table. That is how the emotions of especially 2-year-olds are. Pour this water on the table and see what will happen to the water. And then an adult comes into the room and sees a mess. But a child is seeing what? An experiment. Do you understand? So if we don't understand the way children's mind works, we will keep tagging them naughty, keep tagging them stubborn. But no, they are emotional beings, and we need to keep coaching them. And coaching takes time. It takes time, it takes patience, and the way you do it is very, very important. And it is very unrealistic to say that we are not going to get angry, but then it is also key to know that you are in charge of your emotions. It's not what your child is doing that is putting you in that vibes. It is how your inability to control your emotions and divert your emotions to a positive outcome. This is very important, working on your emotions as parents, so that you don't transfer your pain, your frustration, your anger to your children, but you want to transfer love to them. You want to transfer calmness to them. You want to transfer all the virtues also that you are teaching them. You also want to model it to them, because your children are really watching you. Your children are watching you. The way you relate with them, the way you talk to them is the same way they are going to relate with other people. It's the same way they are going to talk to other people. It is exactly the same way they are going to relate with their juniors, with their siblings. So it's important that in reinforcing values, you do it with patience and you do it repeatedly. Okay, you keep doing it, you keep saying it. And another way that we must also reinforce values is that we must find creative ways of teaching values. I'm just also buttressing the fact that we need to repeat values. And I also said another beautiful way we can reinforce it is by looking for other creative ways. Maybe you've been doing it a particular way and it's a bit boring now for the children. You can think about another creative way. This same value, how else can I teach it? It could be, let's take a walk to an environment that is beautiful and have a conversation on this thing. Just look for those little things. Okay, let's go to ShopRite. Children want fun, they want entertainment. Yeah. So don't make it look like it is a serious thing. Oh yeah, everybody sit down, let us learn our family values. We don't do this. It becomes a lecture. It will be boring. Children want it to be fun. When you are playing Ludo with them, you can teach these values. When you are bathing them, you can instill it. It has to be as informal as possible. It is not a lecture that it's a round table conversation. We don't pour water on the floor. We do this, we do that. So a lot of parents, we really need to find creative ways of teaching values. And this is over 50 minutes of this conversation, and I know that it has really been value packed, and a lot of people, I can see so many comments here, and it has really been, for me, an eye-opener that value takes a lot of time. It takes time. It's not moi that you just do now and it's done and you are eating it. It can take years. Let's be as honest as possible. It can take years.
That's what I'm saying. Even moi is not easy, sir. Even moi is not easy. You have to pick pick beans, wash the beans. In fact, select the beans, wash it.
Select the beans first of
No,
all. Yeah, somebody
that's
said
what I'm saying
we
now.
can also teach values while exercising with our children. Very true. We can teach values while exercising. You're going on a jogging, road work, whatever. Just find creative ways. Let it be fun. These children, you know, it's entertainment, education and entertainment. It's fun. Yes. So, Mommy Nina, I'm going to
Okay.
give you an opportunity to give us your, yeah.
Okay. I noticed you're about rounding up, so I wanted to say my last words.
Yes, no, I was going to give you opportunity to please give us your last word for the day. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I have to tell parents is this: encourage your children whenever you see them express your family value. It makes it stink. Like whenever you see them help someone or keep the cup where it's supposed to be, or after eating, they take their plates to the kitchen. It's family values. There are people that eat and leave it, and for the domestic workers to come and clear. But you, when they finish eating, you tell them take it to the kitchen. And on a particular day, they finished eating. You didn't tell them, they just take it to the kitchen. Give them a high five, encourage them. So anytime you see them express family values, it's very important to encourage them. One, it will make them keep doing it because they want to keep hearing the sweet words you tell them, or the hug you give them, or the high five you give them, and they won't forget it because they will always remember, when I did this, mommy said thank you. So they look forward to that particular thing. So that's what I have to say. Are you there, Uche? Hello, Uche. Okay, but that's just but my last words. Encourage your children whenever you see them express the family value you taught them. Encourage them, give them a high five, hug them, tell them how amazing they are, and just tell them how sweet they are, and encourage them, because it will make them not to forget the value. It will make them do it more. And most importantly, always and always say why you do the things you do. So that's all.
Oh, it has been a
Welcome
horrific
back.
network. Thank you. So I guess you've said your last word. Yeah, so we are going to be rounding up this section tonight, and I thank you all that have been a part of us and have been inspired and enlightened tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of us. Thank you, Mommy Nina. It has been an expository indeed in all ramification, and I believe that today we are going away with something new. And for me, what I'm going away with today is that values can be different for different families. I've always known global values and all of that, but it's good that your children have their own, you don't understand their own family value, what makes a family unique from another family. And you know, when these children go out with that unique value, it gives them an urge. Okay, it's like a USP, their unique selling proposition. It gives them an edge. Wow, everybody does not do things this way. You are the only one that does things this way. Can you share more light to us how why you do things this way? It's really important. It makes your children unique, authentic, and outstanding. So I would encourage every parent that is in this program today, if you have not created any unique value for your family, you can sit down now and begin to think about that unique thing that you want your children to, you know, adopt as their philosophy ever they go to. So, Mommy Nina, do you want to tell us a little about your book on Max, so that those who are in this gathering and want to have a copy of it can reach out to you?
Okay, actually, Unmask is a book about self-discovery and purpose. I understand a lot of people are not doing what they are called to do. Or in fact, they don't even understand who they are. They don't know. They sit back and ask myself, why am I really on earth and stuff like that. They don't even know how to identify their purpose. So, Unmask gives you a step-by-step ways and strategies to identify who you are, what you're called to do, and to fulfill your passionate purpose on earth. So that's all about it. And it's just a chickly money, 1,000 naira. You can get the e copy or the hard copy. That's you. Thank you so much.
Oh, so 1,000 naira can also get the hard copy, right? Okay, okay, Daddy will give it to you. All right.
That would
So
be when
please, you want a copy? You want a copy of Unmax? You can, send Mommy Nina a DM, and you'll be able to get a copy of that book. Thank you so much for watching, and do have a wonderful and a good evening. Bye.
I bye to see ya.